Man of the Prize podcast. It's me, Harvey, and another week, another classic, another legendary guest, Stefan. Welcome to the podcast. How are you today, sir?
Thank you for having me. I'm gonna give you the short version. Um,
Okay.
yeah, I'm gonna try and give you the short version. I've had I've had a couple of weeks.
Okay.
Because I think because you were on my podcast before, but I don't know if I told you that I had surgery.
Oh, I didn't
Um,
know. Okay.
yeah, I had knee surgery. So this
Oh.
whole time I've been recovering,
Oh, wow.
and then I got COVID. Like
Oh, my goodness.
so I went back to work, and in about 2.5 weeks into being back at work, traveling, doing all that stuff, I caught COVID, and I just got back this week, Monday. So imagine I had the surgery in December. I was recovering. I was back to work on like February, whatever the date was,
Right.
and then late February. Then Valentine's Day, actually, I went back. I'm talking about. So yeah, this is the long version, obviously.
Oh, wow.
so I've gone back, and then because I work with kids and stuff,
Mhm.
COVID, managed to catch that. Didn't realize until it hit me really hard one morning, and I was like, I think I'm sick.
Mhm.
And then I just to make sure, I thought it was just flu, but I checked it out because we got tests at home. Had
Right.
a test, and obviously it's come back positive.
Mhm.
My life,
Damn.
my life.
Oh, I know that's ridiculous, man, but you sound good.
You know
So,
what? I've got over the cough is pretty much gone, but because I got a smart little tech set up over here, you won't even hear me cough because when I cough, it'll be
well
yeah,
done.
yeah.
You got that cough button. I feel you.
Silence.
Wow. Hey, man, you made it through. And I don't know when you're gonna be able to get back on the basketball court, start dunking on people, get them knees set. You're gonna be good to
Mm-mm.
go.
Like no, I think my dunking days are over.
Done.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna be one of those old dudes on the court who just can shoot from anywhere.
Oh, you're gonna be the one who plays the game the way it's supposed to. You pass perfectly, you throw the perfect pick, and you got to jump it from 18 feet. I see you. I see you.
I'm be getting angry when people just be messing up my assists. I'm like, oh
I gave it to you under the basket. You got to put that
man, I'm trying to give you points here.
up.
But yeah,
Well,
yeah.
I'm glad to hear that you are okay and recovering, which is the most important thing. But let's get to it. The way I start every episode is this: I am an expert in really one thing, and that is being me, being the man that I am. This podcast, I created it or came up with the idea strictly for men to be able to talk, to be open, to be vulnerable, to discuss what it's like being a man in this world, to be open. And I hope that these conversations that you've been listening to this season have make you feel more comfortable, allow you to talk to other people. But if you haven't, I hope you find someone, a friend, a colleague, a male figure, someone. Find somebody who specializes in this. Find someone to talk to. It is imperative as men that we don't hold in all these feelings that we have. We have to release them. Because if we don't, they come out in really bad ways. And we don't want to fit into that genre of that negative male, that toxic masculinity thing. So your feelings are here, release them and find a person to talk to. I can't diagnose, I can't prescribe, but I hope this podcast is, just a little something to get you going, get a fire burning in you so you can talk about things. And with that said, you ready to go, Stefan?
I am actually.
Every time I say your name, I dip into family matters and I want to talk about that. And I kind of want to call you Stefan, for you to walk into the room with the white suit dancing. It's just terrible. So I'm I'm gonna stop doing that.
Oh, it's okay. Over here in the UK, they call me Stefan, like a fan.
Okay. Oh,
Um,
okay, good. Oh,
no, no,
good.
no, no. But if listen, you say it how you want to say it. Yeah,
Okay. Okay. I
sounds close
appreciate
enough
it.
to me.
Okay. That works. Okay. Give our audience a quick 30-second. I mean, they heard a bio already from you,
Mhm.
but give us a quick little 30-second about you specifically before we get into the questions. Hit us with something real quick.
Okay. As you already know, I'm Stefan Jeffrey. I live out in the UK. It is evening over here. I'm guessing it's daytime for you over there. I'm a father of one. I had my son. We had our son when I was young. So, so whenever I tell people my son's 22 years old, they're like, "What? Your son's?" So yeah, I get that all the time from everybody. Children, I get it from kids, I get it from adults, I get it from grandparents. It's like, how? What you've had? Yeah. So that's me in a nutshell. And I've played basketball a lot over the years. I've had many injuries. I cycle a lot nowadays because there's less impact. I'm one of those, we call them over here, we call them lycra wearing wankers. That's what we call them over here. So I'm one of those lycra wearing dudes. I've got all the tech. I've got the expensive bike. I've got the expensive, all this stuff. I've got the expensive setup right here. The bike's right next to me on a trainer. So when we're done, I'll jump on that, start cycling away.
Okay.
And yeah, what else can I say? I work for a small charity that sends me into different schools across London. I work with young boys primarily, and I've worked with them twice now. I've got my own business, which is personal training, but I dip in and out of employment when I feel like, and I felt like going back after a 5-year break recently. And I'm doing both now. I'm doing my PT, my personal training, my coaching, and I'm doing the mentoring with the kids as well. So that's me.
Okay, excellent. All right, and a good foundation to begin. So this podcast is a vessel for this mantra I created, and it's based off of the word prize. The letters are P.R.I.Z.E. 4 the letters are used as characteristics. Good foundation for being a man, and the I is the finale. The first letter in the word prize is P, and the word is purpose. Purpose is defined as reason for which something is done or created, or for which something exists. So, Stefan, what is your purpose?
Good question. I feel like I'm trying to unravel the universe, but you're just thinking about how to answer that. What is my purpose? I think if I'm thinking almost existentially, I'm gonna come up with a really crap answer, which is gonna be, I'm not sure exactly what my purpose is because I'm not done yet.
That's a good answer. Go for it.
But I definitely believe that I was put on the earth not to break down, not to fall apart, which I have several times in my lifetime, whether it's mentally or physically. You have to knit yourself back together again, stitch it back together, and just carry on. And I've grown to dislike that kind of, you're a man, so you gotta rub some dirt on it, rubbish. Just sometimes there's times when you're like, you know what, that hurt a lot. Like, I need a break. So I think my purpose really is to not just be happy, but be comfortable and be able to manage and take the rough as much as the rough can come, because it can come at any point. You could be happy, you could be having a great weekend, all of a sudden, bam, something happens and it just messes up the whole dance. We call it mashing up the whole dance over. So yeah, just in those moments to be able to manage those tough times, because I know that I've had all of those good experiences, and I know it'll probably come again, but just to try to remember them. So I think yeah, I would say, I know I digress a little bit, but I think that is my purpose, to just find some balance, really.
Okay. So you said, you've had some times where you've broken down. So obviously you've had some issues in your life. Now, you certainly you don't have to get into your trauma or anything, but what I'll ask you is how you were able to dig out of that trauma. Can you give us an example or two, or maybe exercise or things that you did to get yourself out of that hole and to work your way back into whatever we can call normalcy?
Yeah. I mean, I have to think about it to answer that, actually. There's been so many times. I could talk about injuries that I've had where I thought I'm never gonna come back from, family stuff. I mean, there was one time. Oh, actually, you know what? There was one time where I got injured so bad. I don't know if you've ever done your back before.
Not as bad as you're about to talk about, but I've hurt my back. Yes.
Okay, so if you've ever hurt your back, if you have somebody out there who's ever hurt their back, and I'm not just talking like you hit it and like for a couple of days it's messed up. I'm talking you're not even sure what you did, but you've done something, and that lasts for months.
Oof.
Now, all right, I'm 42 years old, right? I've had back issues since I was in my like 16, early teens. And I can trace it back to a point when I was really young, like about 8 or 9. Something quite bad. Like I had a bit of a traumatic event, and I was thrown across a room and landed badly on like you know you got the sofa, you got the soft part, and then you got the hard part just underneath. So I hit that with my lower back.
Okay.
And I remember as a like a tiny kid not being able to walk, not being able to get up. I felt like I was going to throw up. I was winded. I got winded hitting my back.
Wow.
That's how bad it was. So I was sitting. I was sat up. I was made to sit up in the chair, and I was kind of just put there. My parents weren't in at the time,
Okay.
so they never found out to this day, and I just haven't had the heart to tell them that. Do you know what I mean? And it was all super top secret. No one needs to know. Luckily, I was able to. Luckily, I regained sense in my legs again, and I was able to walk and stuff. But it was crazy. Yeah, bananas. So yeah, so that happened along. And then when I reached my teens, I noticed that I started getting these weird pains and spasms in my back for no reason.
Okay.
And as I got older, I was doing a lot more basketball. I was doing a lot more training. I was going to the gym, and I could notice that like at least 2 or 3 times a year, my back would just give out. And I'm like 18 years old, and if I put this sideways, like I'm 18 years old, I'm upright, right? Hurt my back. I'm walking around like this. Yeah.
Wow.
So my head's like kind of leaning. I'm like that, and I can't straighten, and it's just super painful. And there were times when I was like, I was maybe depressed. I wasn't sure if I'd be able to, you know, if I hurt my back again, if I'd be paralyzed.
Right.
I remember not being able to move my legs properly back then, like years and years ago. And I was thinking, is it going to happen again? If something hits me in my back, will it, you know? And then later on in life, I got into the gym properly, started doing personal training and stuff. And, you know, you want to do the deadlifts. So I'm trying to do the deadlifts, and I'm coaching the deadlifts. And I get to that point where I can now teach, I'm qualified, I can teach people how to do it.
Right.
But because I can teach people how to do it, I'm lifting heavier and heavier and heavier and getting stronger and and I got to like, I'm not sure how you guys do it over there, but I weighed about 90 plus kilos. I was lifting about 180 plus kilos on a lift one time.
Okay.
Yeah. And I went up, and as I went up, obviously, like just before I went up, I remember someone kind of said something or something happened, and my attention was taken away for literally a split second. I went and looked, came back and lifted it.
Mm-hmm.
I'd let go of the breath, and I'd let go of the position that I had with the band around my waist, and I just heard a.
Oh my goodness.
I just this, and I thought, I was like, that was me. Oh no, that was me. Dropped the weight, and kind of just like went down to my knees, crumbled, laid on the floor, and I could feel the pain, the lance of pain going either direction, up my back and down into my legs.
Wow.
And I was like, you know, I'm done.
Oh wow.
Like again, and bear in mind, since I was in my teens, it's happened several times a year. But this particular time, I was lifting, and it was more of a catastrophic kind of, because it just creeps up. Like you wake up in the morning, and all of a sudden you can't walk. I had sciatica as well. Like earlier, I'd the nerves get trapped in your back, and then it runs down the back of your legs. I used to get that a lot. But it got so bad, it used to run down the back of my legs, and it used to go round and wrap around into the front of my legs too, and then go down the front as well. So it was all just pain upon pain several times a year. And then I was doing that lift, and my back just gave out, and I was like, I don't think I can. I might have to just give up doing this whole PT gig, because, you know, I literally can't do anything. I can't walk. For months, I was bent over, couldn't stand up straight. Months, I'm talking. So I still got to go to train people as well. Yeah, just mad.
Do as I say, not as I do. That's
Oh,
literally
yeah.
it. Oh,
So because I was really successful at the time, I was able to take quite an extended time away. And if people wanted to see me, I was able to do it and kind of manage. I got upright again quickly, maybe in about a month. So I was able to look like I wasn't injured.
okay.
But
Which is good. Which is good.
it was still bad. But it was like I couldn't reconcile the pain and the frustration and the feeling of I'm gonna have to give up this gig. It's not gonna work if I can't function. And I was really worried about losing my business just because, if I could get this pain every so often, because it wasn't just the fact that I'd done that lift, it was happening several times a year.
Right.
And something in me just said, you know what, Steph, you got to figure out a different way. So I was like, cool, what am I going to do? This is me talking to myself, by the way.
Of course. Of course.
So I'm like, what the hell am I going to do? And it turns out that I said, you know what? The only way I'm going to have to get through this or get past this is if I take a bit more interest in my mobility, my flexibility, and just work on making sure that my body is supple all the time. And that's what I did. And I jumped on it. So this is how I overcame the whole issue of my back. And it's actually helped a lot more other things as well in my body too. Because if I was to put up a list of things on the screen right now with injuries that I've had or have, it's a list and I've got dates. Because whenever I go to see a new physio, I go there. I'm like the dream patient because I've got a list of all the stuff that's happened to me since like 1996 or something.
Okay.
And it's a long list, like fractured disc and broken metatarsal and cracked thumb and blah. This is all basketball related stuff as well. Like I've slapped a fence once because I missed a shot and broke my wrist. You know what I'm saying?
No.
But prior to realizing I broke my wrist, I slapped the fence because I missed the layup. Went back. This is like game point. They missed their shot. Bear in mind, I broke my wrist, right?
Right.
So I come down with the ball, dribbling the ball, thinking, this don't feel right. My wrist was a bit off key. Come down, and then I'll get to the 3-point line, and then two guys know what I'm going to do. So they jump towards me. I go up in the air. This is the broken wrist, right? Take the shot, let it fly. Chaps! Hit the shot, won the game. What? And then I was and then this is no word of a lie. I've landed, and I said, guys, I got to go. I think I've done something bad to my wrist. I'm not sure what's going on, but that shot really hurt. And by chance, hospital that I go to or went to was behind this basketball court. It was literally nearby. Went casualty, went to the ER, as you call it. And they did X-ray and they said, yeah, you've broken your wrist. I was like, and I said to the nurse, I go, I hit that winning shot right. She says, what? I was like, yeah, I came here from this. I came here from the basketball court and I just won the game with this wrist. She's like, you're an idiot.
Was she impressed? Was the nurse impressed?
What she was. She was like, you're an idiot. But yeah, I've got loads of funny, stupid stories where I've done crazy stuff and then just managed to somehow piece it back or stitch myself back together. But that was one time where like the whole back thing. I now digress to the wrist, but the back continues to this day.
Okay,
it's not like I'm cured. I know that my recovery time now is a lot faster than it was back then. I'm talking. It took months to heal and get back to normal whenever my back spasms or does anything. And now, I had a spasm about 2 months ago, and it's the same spasm that kind of on the right side, and my muscles, I can feel them tensing up, and then it sends me kind of leaning forward a little bit, and then the pain runs down my leg, like through my butt down into my leg. The recovery time, 2 days. 2 days. And this happens, like I said, 2 to 3 times a year, 4 times if I'm unlucky, but it still happens. Maybe it's like once or twice a year, but when it does happen, I'm talking less than a week I'm good. And even when it does happen, I can still carry on doing what I'm doing. Like, it doesn't make a difference. It's just I can just feel this little twinge in my back running. Yeah, yeah. So stretching, mobility, even if you don't do anything like any sports, I guarantee you, I see people, old people walking around all the time, and they're not that old. I'm talking like 60s, 70s. And I know 60, 70-year-olds who are doing pull-ups and running around playing basketball. But then there's the other ones who are walking around like they can't walk too fast to get to anywhere because they're just stiff and tight. So I don't want to be those people. No disrespect to them, but I don't want to fall apart too early. So
your life, just everything you've gone through, I hear it, and it feels to me like a microcosm of life. You've had all these things happen to you, and you found a way to keep going, to not just give up. Stuff happens, trauma, life, relationships, things that just get thrown at us. And instead of just falling to the ground and giving up, you deal with it and you keep going. So, there's the physical injury that you're talking about, but a lot of us may not have dealt with that physical, but the mental, the emotional trauma that we get dealt with.
Yeah.
We find a way to deal with it. So you were clearly a physically stronger man than I am. I'd be on the ground crying like a baby. Like, I'd have told everybody, I hurt my back. You need to take me to the hospital. I can't walk. I'd have been complaining. I applaud you. You're a better man than me in so many ways.
One of the only real kind of toxic male kind of sayings or things that I've heard that I actually like is the one from the Predator movie with what's his name? Yeah. So when they're in the jungle and then they shoot up that place, whatever, and they blow it up. Right. And then one of the guys goes to Jesse Ventura, he goes to him, yo, you been hit? And he goes, you bleeding? He goes, bleed? I ain't got time to bleed. Anytime something happens to me, like say for instance, I twist my ankle, I just say in my head, I'm saying, I ain't got time to feel that twisted ankle. I'm just gonna carry on. Let me just rub something on it and just, you know what I'm saying? Like, I will say that to myself.
Right.
To someone else, I won't tell them to rub some dirt on it and go back to business. But for me, it works. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I just need to hear that in my own head, because everyone, like my missus, my partner's gonna be like, caring, and she's gonna look after me, and that's cool. Right. But for me, I don't need that intrinsically. I just need to be like, yeah, I've done that thing. What am I gonna do next? Because I still need to. Time ain't gonna stop. Time ain't gonna stop because I'm injured.
That's life.
Time doesn't give a shit. Can I swear?
Got that right. Do not care. You hurt. Get up. Literally deal with it.
Time's point. Like TikTok, motherfucker, TikTok. What you on the floor still? Man,
get up. So, all right, we move on. The next letter, and you kind of answered this, so we might see the next letter in the word prize is R, and the word is resilience. The capacity to recover quickly or not so quickly from difficulties and toughness. You literally answered that question, just talking about your physical there. But maybe let's try to move over a little bit. Can you think of a situation where emotionally something happened to you where you discovered you had more mental resilience than you thought you did? And maybe it's something that helps you in life because you're a parent and you deal with life differently. So can you think of a situation that might fit?
Yeah, actually. Okay, so when I went to college or university, whatever you call it, late. So I was about 27 when I decided to get, I was 27 years old. My son was about 7 or 8 by then, 7. So imagine, I'm going back to school. What? You doing what? I'm in school. You can't go to school. You go work. Now I'm going to school. So I went back because when he was born, I was in, we call it sixth form or college over here. So it would be the equivalent of, I guess, I'm not sure, because I was about between 17 and 19 then, give or take.
Towards the end of high school, at least for us, that's what that is. If not the end, if you're not senior, right?
About to turn 1920. Yeah.
Okay.
So but I was working. I had two jobs back then. I was two jobs studying, crazy, in college when he was born. But then I didn't, because he was born, I just carried on working.
Okay.
Because in my mind, I was like, well, we gotta eat. So,
Yes, sir.
and school's gonna make me give them money when I'm finished. Because when I'm done, I'm gonna pay my student loan off and all that stuff.
Right.
So I was like, I ain't got time for that. So I need to work. So I worked. And then it got to a point where I was thought to myself, you know what? I'm probably in a position where I could go back to school. I did I worked it all out. I found out how much, because we got grants and stuff. So I found out how much money I could get, how much money I needed to hold off and save and stuff like that. And I did it. And then it was only like a diploma. So it was only like a couple of years. And towards the end, it was an apprenticeship in community and youth work. So basically, the work that I do with the children at the schools, I went to university to study for, and I ended up getting that job way back then, but then left it to start my own business, did that for 5 years, and then went back into work, but still do the business on the side. So towards the end of the diploma, we were meant to fly out to China to do to do like a 2-week jaunt in Shanghai 1 week, Beijing the next week. And it was like a cultural kind of exchange of ideas and knowledge. And we had guides and stuff. And it was cool. Like it was a really, and we went, but the way you do all the coursework, and then one of the stipulations was you have to go on this trip. But round about that time, my grandma, she was sick. She'd been diagnosed with cancer and it was terminal. So she was going to check out at some point. And it got to that point where we had family flying over back and forth, just like being with her and stuff. And I wanted to go, but obviously my mum was like, no, if you need to do this to pass, you need to go. I was like, yeah, and I'm talking to my lecturers and I'm saying to them, like, the guy that ran the course, I'm saying, I need to go to Jamaica because that's where my grant is. I can't go to China. Like, no, you have to go, she'd want you to go and blah, blah. And they taught me into this whole, and they're probably right. She'd probably want me to go. I get that. So I go. And the last day, I'm flying back from China. So it's 2 weeks later. I'm flying back from China. I'm connecting through France. I get this phone call, and I get that phone call while I'm in France. So yeah, so I'm pissed.
Mm-hmm.
Like I want to cuss out the guy that taught me into going. Everyone that said I should go, I was like, you sons of, do you know what I'm saying? Like I knew, I somehow knew that if I went on this trip, it would mess me up, guaranteed. And I know I should have followed my own instincts, but at the same time, yeah, the court, but do you know what I mean? Like, I didn't get a chance to see her before she passed away. So I'm to this day, I'm still a bit, as you probably hear in my voice, I'm still a bit pissed off about that.
Right.
So I'm in France, coming back distraught, and I'm not even I'm not even out the airport. I'm booking. I'm trying to get something to. No word of a lie, Harvey. I got back on a Wednesday. I was on a plane on the Thursday, so I got home from China, unpacked all the bullshit that I had in my suitcase that was relevant to that.
Right.
Repacked everything and then I slept for about a few hours, and then I just went straight back to the airport again and flew to Jamaica because it was just that turnaround. Because I managed to get a flight going out, it's like ASAP, and yeah, I don't remember even washing the dishes when I got. I was just like, boom, bag, unpack, repack, done, cool, sleep, get out. And I was in the space of less than 36 hours. I'd gone China, France, UK, Jamaica.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
And yeah, it is like beyond bonkers, but it just needed to be done. So I'm in Jamaica for 3 weeks now, and we had this whole 9-night situation, and you got family coming over every day, and you know, because it's Jamaica and we live in the countryside, we just kill a goat in it for dinner. There's a goat out. There's a goat. Yeah, we'll take that goat. So you know, you got your uncle just and then draining the blood and they do doing their yeah. And then if I'm hot and I'm sweaty and need a shower, they're like, it's gonna rain soon. I'm like, what? Like, yeah, it's gonna rain soon. Like, yeah, okay, cool. What are they talking about? It's gonna rain. Start raining. They say go outside. Because the way the houses are designed, the water just drains off into like 1 or 2 spots.
Right.
So I'm having a shower on the porch, basically.
Okay.
Yeah, because otherwise you got to use this tank, and the water doesn't always last that long in the tank. So they prefer if it's gonna rain, if you just jump out, shorts and t-shirt or short. I mean, but a pair of shorts at the least.
Right.
Outside. But it was an experience. I haven't been back, and I've got family who probably cuss me to this day for not coming back, but it was such a difficult period of time, and I just don't want to revisit it. That was like 2009 that happened. And I've got some residual anger, some regret, you know, from that time. But on the flip side of it, the whole craziness of having to juggle flights and move from one, you know, time zone to the next and to the next and to the next and to the next, and then deal with family, and then, you know, everything that came with that, and then come back again after 3 weeks and try and manage. So I guess true. They say tough times kind of mold you. They either make you rock hard, too hard,
right,
or you learn something from it. But yeah, man, it was a trip, to say the least.
I hear you, man. It's a struggle. That's trauma. So clearly you were very close to your grandmother to have lost her.
Yeah. Listen, Christmas time, yeah. That was a spot.
Right.
It's go great. Every Christmas was at Gran's house. Most weekends, we'd go visit Granny, you know, because Granny had like a Rottweiler and a little kitty cat, and they were friends. But the Rottweiler was kind of vicious, and they named him Zeus. So, so I got to the point where Zeus. It took about a couple of weeks, but Zeus became my friend. Okay. And he would like just chill out in the hallway and look after. Like if I went out, he'd look up and be like, "Are you good?" Just going to the toilet. He's like, "Cool, all right." Okay. The dog didn't talk, by the way, but that's what I imagine. I'm sure. I imagine that was happening. And then the cat was called Tigger. So Tigger would just walk around like, yeah, it's my house. It's my house. But it was cool. It was just, my uncles would come round, and it was the spot. It was that one kind of place that everybody would end up at any given time during the week. But we mostly went around, obviously, because we had school during the week. So we go around on the weekends. It was always a treat when Gran came over to see us. Okay. Because we're like, what's going to do? She'd come to us. She'd come over. And then I'll be phoning my cousins like, guess who's at my Granny's here? They'll be like, you punk. And then, saying, yeah, we got her this week. So shut your mouth. So it was just nice. It was a nice time. Do you know what I mean? Gran was like the sun. Gran, we kind of revolved around her. She was like she had her own little gravity, you know. We were always in her orbit, but we were. I mean, the cooking as well, man. Come on now, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't get that food anymore. I mean, my mum can do it, but she just I don't live with my mum. I don't live with my mum, and it does taste. It does. No disrespect, man. If you're gonna hear this, let's take just a little bit different.
It's always a little, yeah. I understand. I'm Haitian. I got you. I understand.
You
We're
know,
Caribbean. Yes.
there's levels to this, right?
What'd you say?
Yeah. You know, you got levels to it. You know,
Oh, no doubt, no doubt. There's
you
perfection.
got your MJs. You know,
Mhm.
you got your MJs. Arguably, you got your Kobe's, but it's just not the same flavor.
Exactly. The food will be good, but there's a difference between like perfection and just short. I understand exactly what you're saying.
So that was a scenario, but yeah, we were close, man, and losing her was hard. Like, and obviously because she was the center point, when she passed away, everybody, yeah. So I don't even really see people anymore.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like to this, like, and we sometimes when my cousins get together, we talk about, you know, how fractured sometimes the family feels because no one's really. I've got cousins who I saw when they were little. I wouldn't recognize because they're all big people now.
Right.
I would not. I probably walk past or been on the train and not even notice that they were them or knew it was them. You know, I haven't seen them since they were like kids. And I was probably in my teens or early 20s and they were kids. And then I think 20 years later, if they were like 3 or 4, they're 24, 25, 26, 27.
Right.
And you know, looking at me like, I swear I know you from somewhere. And there's probably, you know, I probably had family say to me, I swear I know you, and I'm like, you don't know me, man. It's cool, but you know, walk away. And I'm like, for that's like some cousin. So like direct, I'm talking that not like your second cousin.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking your mum's brother's son just tried to talk to you, but you didn't recognize each other. So you know, it's bad, man. It's not good.
I hear you.
It's not good at all.
We will skip the I. The next letter in P.R.I.Z.E is Z. The word is zeal and is defined as enthusiastic devotion.
Mm-hmm.
What are you or who are you enthusiastically devoted to?
I think too many things. I think like way too much stuff. I'm always tired. You know, obviously, as the people always say, I mean, it's a cliche, family come first.
Right.
But it is true. It is true. You know, there's not a lot that I do outside of that kind of intimate unit, to be honest. I mean, I do work with children and I do a lot of, you know, mentoring and stuff and counseling, but I do my best to keep check of how much energy I put out to people that don't necessarily need it. I'm not going to say deserve it, necessarily need it from me, because I need lots of it so that I can deal with my people.
Right.
But then after that, I'm like, there's only so much left, and I got to kind of pushing it out, you know. So yes, I've got the enthusiasm. Yes, I've got the zeal. Yes, I can, you know, be the life of the party if I wanted to and stuff. But like I said, I'm tired. I'm trying to go to bed before 10 o'clock at night.
Good luck. Good luck.
And it don't work when you got like 2,500,000 friends. You know what I'm saying? Like I've whittled my friend group, my circle down to less. I think it's like less than 5 people.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And I mean, don't get me wrong. Like I know loads of people,
right.
but my cycling dude, we talk a lot. My guy, he's done a couple of podcasts with me when I started out. Another friend of mine who lives like about 15 minutes walk from me. We go way back to maybe like 11, 12 years old.
Okay.
And then his cousin, I class in that kind of circle as well. And I kind of stopped there, you know. That's kind of it. You know, there's the givens, there's mum, there's son, there's my partner, there's, you know what I mean? I'm not talking about that. So
right. That's given.
I mean,
I understood. Yeah.
You know, but I'm talking about the people that I've invited in,
right,
who are locked in. Probably about 3. I could be saying this and later on I'm like, oh yeah, forgot about. But top of my head right now, if shit was popping off, one of those people would get a message for sure, or all 3.
I like that. I have to use that. because I talk to men, and every time I do one of these, there's always something, because I try to enhance and kind of improve the questioning when I talk. And that's one thing that I'm going to bring up, and you answered it, but I feel like to talk to men, something's going down, illegal, whatever. Do you have that one person that's not family? Because family is easy. Do you have that one person who is essentially family who you could call? This is what's up. I need you. And they're running to you as they're talking to you. Like, who's your number one? And I think a lot of us don't have that. A lot of men don't. And that's a thing, because if we did, we'd talk more. If I had a person like that, whatever shit's going on in my life, wife, job, life, whatever, that would be the person. This is what's going on. And that person would just listen and support and be like, stop with the bullshit. Somebody would talk to you, but it would just call you out on your bullshit and say, what are you doing? Do we all have that person? And that's another, I really like that. And I have to add that to my questions, but it's apparent that your zeal for life sounds like that's what it is. You like personal connections and helping people and enjoying yourself and your family and your work and whatever. So there's no one thing. I think life in general, I feel like is what you're devoted to. I guess with everything that's happened to you, living sounds like that's the thing.
Yeah. But I will say though, and I say this to my missus, my partner, all the time, I don't like people. I don't like people.
Oh my God.
I really don't.
Hold on. Is it possible that you don't like people, but you like someone by themselves? Do you not like groups, but you like a person?
Nah, it's more, I don't like people, as in I don't like you, and I don't like you.
So even when they're separate?
Yeah, because there's some people like people. Like, I'm not talking about a group of people who are doing the same thing, acting the same way. No. Because I don't like those people either. But there's individuals, like there's a whole person. I'm like, I'll decide straight away, I don't like you. But I won't necessarily say it to you.
Right.
I just know. You like, imagine, I don't know, imagine this is a movie and I can put like a little marker above someone's head and it's green, and that means you're cool.
Right.
And I can put another one on top of someone else's head and red, and mean you ain't cool. So I don't like you.
And everybody would have that red on top of them. Everybody.
Until you prove otherwise, that you're red. You might be green one day, but you red. You like some kid today. I was at this school, and he seems to think that we got this relationship where he can say whatever.
Right.
And I was in the office with a couple of other teachers. Bear in mind, I'm not a teacher. I'm just the guy that comes in, the external person, the mentor. Okay. So I'm in this room with these teachers, and this kid comes sort of almost in the room and starts saying some stuff. And I said to him, yo, hey, and this is, bear in mind, I'm with teachers who I enunciate, and I say, I'm that dude.
Right.
But I code switched on this little motherfucker like one. He said, what did he? I can't remember what he said, but he said something about my bald slappable head or something. Some rubbish, like cracking jokes and whatever. Right, and he's done it a few times, and he's overstepped the mark. And I've said to him, dude, you need to like back up, because I've been working with you for like the last 2-3 years, and I've stopped because you're doing well, but don't spoil it. But don't be this guy either. And he said what he said today, and I just went to him, hey, let me tell you something, yeah? If you want to come talk to me, come talk to me. But if you want to come talk to me like that, don't talk to me at all. Furthermore, you're going to walk away and think about it. And he's like, I'm like, go. And he walked away. And then I turned back around, and the teachers looked at me like, oh my, you took. I'm like, yeah, because I'm not a teacher. I don't have to, you have to talk to them a certain way. I don't care. I lay it on them like I'm their dad. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't talk to me like, because I don't talk to you like that. I'll say, hey, you doing? You're right. How's your day been? I mean, I'm nice. Right. But don't be rolling up in there being all, and I know he was joking. I know he was trying to be funny. Right. I know he was, you know what I mean? I know all of that. But it's every time I see you, you do that. If you did it once or twice, it'd be cool, but not every time. If one time you said, "Hey, Stefan, how you doing? You're all right, sir." Try that.
That might work.
But I'm trying to teach this kid that not everybody's gonna be accepting of how you're dealing with them. One day someone might get you in a headlock and slam your head into the wall and be like, "Who are you talking to?" And you'll be shocked and surprised. So better you get it verbally from me, and then you might think about it later on, rather than someone taking your best head and then putting it somewhere you don't need it to be.
Those are life lessons, man. At some point, every young man needs to hear that. Chill, bro. You don't know if you're talking to a civilized man on the street. You better relax. You never know who's in your face. You never know.
I think I do give off the approachable vibe a little bit too much sometimes, because I've had people, not just kids, I've had people say stuff to me and I'm like, oh, you think I'm that dude? I'm not that dude, you know. I'm not that guy. I'm not the one.
They don't know.
But that's okay. You get a pass today.
Right.
But I swear to God, you do it don't do it tomorrow or next week. Because I've switched on people and they're shocked and amazed, like, "Oh my God, I didn't really, oh, why did you just say that for?" I'm like, well, who are you talking to? What, you think I'm gonna be all like, "Oh, it's all right"? No, it's not okay. It's not okay. And this is why I don't like people.
I love that. My wife does the same thing. My wife doesn't like people. She deals with people, but she doesn't like them. Like, people are like the necessary evil for life, for what you have to deal with. But as soon as possible, she's content away from people. And that sounds like you two are the same person.
Yeah. Sure.
Last letter in the word P.R.I.Z.E is E. The word is expectation, a strong belief that something will happen or be the case in the future. What do you expect from yourself? Let's just go in the next year. Where are you going to be in terms of your job, your life, wherever that you aren't right now? What's the goal for a year from now?
I'm not even gonna hold back, when people say, so you say, "Oh, we're gonna be like next year, we're gonna be doing in 5 years, we're gonna be in 10 years," and they say, "Oh, I might be like, what I'm gonna be doing? Sprinkling money around."
That's what's up.
I'm working on some stuff right now. Like today, I'll be working on it. I'm not gonna say what it is. I'm not gonna divulge too much. I'm not going into detail, but I'm working on a few, well, not just one project. I'm working on about 3 different projects, all at once. Okay. I know people say, "Oh, you need to work on one thing at a time." I'm like, it's actually almost the same thing. Okay. I'm just siphoning off what I need for each different bit.
Okay.
And it's ways of making extra income without. It's not a Ponzi scheme. It's not a multi whatever you call it, those programs, whatever you call them. It's nothing like that, but it has the potential if myself, the guys that I'm working with, because we're working on one thing on one side, and then a couple of us have got our own things going on that we all know about. We know that we're working together to this one project, and we also know that we're putting our energy into our own stuff elsewhere, which will then, because we'll have the data and everything that we need, doing our own thing to put into this group collective idea. So we're just doing that. So I know a year's not long enough. A year from now, I'll still be working on it. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
But a year from now, I would have tested a few things, because I'm putting something out in April that I'm testing to see what it's like and if it works. I've got a notebook in my bedroom that I write notes in about what I'm doing and how I'm doing it, and if this works and how much response and how much engagement I got and all this stuff. And it's working. And I did something just off the cuff today. I just did something today, and the amount of engagement it got, I was like, oh, I was just mucking around. Okay. I was just playing about. I was at a location at a school, and there were no kids around, and I had about 10 minutes to just check my emails. So I checked them like in 5, and then I thought, let me just try something. And And then within an hour, my watch, because my watch is linked to my phone, it went off non-stop for about 45 minutes.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, okay. All right. So I'm learning. People are probably figuring, if you haven't guessed already, it's to do with social media and input and all that stuff. But it's I was listening to a webinar, and it was one of those ones that, because the time zone is different, I had to stay up till like 1 a.m, 2 a.m, recording this thing. And I was sitting down watching TV, and it recording on the desktop while I was watching television. I'm not going to listen to it because I ain't got time for that. I'll listen to it later. I listened to it and I was like, oh, okay, that's cool, And then I put it into play, and it's worked. And it's working, but it's one of them things where they want you to jump in and do another part of the course, and they're going to charge you this much for the course. And I'm like, you've told me all I need to know for now. Yeah. And it works. So I'm going to run with this for a little while. And if I get that revenue and get that money, yeah, I'll come back and do the bigger course, but not until it's comfortable. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, a year from now, I'll probably still be working, self-employed, and I'll probably still have some kind of employment. But until we're all set, because we're planning this thing from the ground up. So we're looking at things like the whole marketing strategy. We reworked the business plan, and if we pull it off, like if we really pull it off, dude, I'm talking ridiculous income. That's
what's up, man. And don't get too, when you blow up and then all of a sudden I message you and then you got to have like your assistant. I'm trying to get you back on the pod so we could talk about. You can't hear me already.
Harvey.
That dude.
Harvey from. Oh yeah, we did the podcast and the thing in the place, didn't we? Oh. No, I'm playing.
No, man. I am happy to hear you have goals, you have a plan, and I hope you blow up. And I'm gonna be like, I knew him when we was just talking movies and about men's life, and now he blowing up. And then you send emails through his social, or that's how you keep in touch with your girl and whatever, all kinds of stuff like that. So I hope you blow up. So we finished off the word prize, but the last part, the letter I, the letter in the middle of the word prize, represents you. So let's take away all the shackles, the titles that we're given. So you're not a father, you're not a husband, you're not an employee, you're not a best friend, you're not a neighbor. When you take all that stuff off, get rid of all of it, and it's you at your core, who are you?
Boy, good bloody question. To strip everything away.
Yep.
Who am I? Man, I guess on one hand, I'm not the dude you want to be kind of getting involved with. If you know what I mean, if you're looking for an easy date, if you're looking for an easy ride, if you're looking to jump on something and it be coasting and you just chip, I'm not that person. Like I'm putting in that work. Yeah, and doesn't have to be going towards money. Like I was saying to my kids Tuesday. Yeah, I was in a session on Tuesday, and we were talking about working hard and what it takes to become better at whatever it is you want to do. And I said to them, "What did you do this morning?" They were like, "Oh, I woke up, had breakfast." And I was like, "But you want to be a footballer, right?" Like, "Yeah, I want to be a footballer." And I'm like, "Cool." So the difference between your morning and my morning was, and I took my phone out, spun it around, and pressed this button, went into an app, and then showed them. And then they were like, "You did what?" I was like, "Yeah, for 3 hours." So, so basically, I'd gone to the gym because I needed to do some rehab. I needed to do some stuff for my knee, my legs, and whatever. And I did a whole rehab session and workout. Then I went home, jumped on the bike for an hour. Yeah. No, tell a lie, for an hour and a half. and, did a whole session on the bike before I went to work. And that's just me training to, just for the day. I'm not even doing an event because I'm injured still. I'm not trying to do a race because I'm injured still. I'm just doing that because that's what I do. And if I was doing a race or an event or trying to play some basketball, it would be more training and it would be longer and harder, but it would be at a time where it's out of the way of everybody and I can still get in and do my work. But that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm that, if you strip away everything, if you strip away everything that I have, I'm that guy that if I need to get something done, I'm not saying it's going to happen straight away, but especially if it's physical and if it's to do with, making myself better physically, emotionally, I'm doing it and I'm putting the time in. Now, I say that and I'm procrastinating because I've got a course that I'm doing and I haven't touched it in 2 weeks. And there's 14 assessments and I'm on 8. But because I'm more of a physical person, because I'm not doing the thing, I'm not lifting, I'm not running, I'm not getting sweaty, my attention isn't always there. So on one hand, yeah, I'm all for pushing the boundaries and your limitations. On the other hand, if it's something, I find that when it comes to academics and when it comes to, because I've got to do so much writing for this course, I it'll happen. I'll finish it. I'll get it done, because eventually the me that's over there doing all the training goes, "What the? You're not doing what?" You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I'll finally do it. But yeah, that's a long-winded, roundabout kind of way of saying who I am. But yeah, I find that I am able to procrastinate, but it doesn't last for very long. And usually what happens is I piss myself off to the point where I just finish, just have to just get it done.
Okay, I see you. Last question.
Okay.
What are you afraid of that you cannot control?
Other people, man. Like, and I say that because as a cyclist, it's always other people doing stupid shit that, and I'm not saying I don't get myself into problems on the bike. I might do once in the blue, like I'm not paying attention. Like I crashed into a bollard once because I was checking how fast I was going on the computer, and so I'm looking down at the thing, and then I'm like, I'm going really bang. complete human error. But I find that I can't control other people. And why should I? Because you're a person, to control yourself. But because I can't control other people, when other people do things around me that affect me physically or mentally, that is a problem. And whether it's I'm on the bike and you turn in on me without indicating, or you drive too close and squash me up into, what I'm saying, whether it's that, or whether it's at a school or a location. And like today, this kid was talking about how he was saying gel looks like it's fun. Yeah. And I said to him, what? Said, yeah, gel looks fun. Gel in the UK, they got their phones and they got and I was like, it's like, you're just seeing one little piece of gel.
Yeah,
and you think it's cool. You have no clue what gel is like. So if you want to go, that's your business. But and I said to him, I ain't a teacher. I'm not gonna get upset about that. I'm not gonna try and stop you. I'm gonna say to you, hey, if you got a path where you want to follow, you follow that. But if it turns out to be one that you dislike, remember, Stefan said, maybe you should have rethought that. Yeah.
I like that. That's literally how this ends. I like that. With that said, thank you so much for doing the pod. I know you've got so many things in the work you got to go. I end every episode with quotes because I like quotes. Mm-hmm. And the quote I'm going to end with is this: "It is not what he has or even what he does which expresses the work of a man, but what he is." There is a distinct difference in all the external crap, all the stuff we own, we buy, we wear. a real man is shown by what he has inside.
Okay.
And the little bit of time we've spoken, you've gone through enough shit. You've surmounted quite an obstacle. You've climbed walls. You've done much. I'm glad that I had a chance to talk to you, and I'm glad all my listeners had a chance to hear you. Don't let injuries, life, death, anything stop you from living your life. I appreciate the time you gave us. So thank you so much for talking to us.
No, thank you. And like I said before, what's time telling us?
TikTok, baby. TikTok. That's it. No doubt. Thank you to everyone who listens to the Man of the Price podcast. Inner Monologue is revealed. You have a great day. Thank you again, sir.